Sports Matters TV, bringing the sports home.
Yeah, well, I was very lucky to get out of UK anyway because I couldn't go back to Hong Kong. They totally shut all the planes coming from UK to Hong Kong. So I was supposed to go back to Hong Kong anyway. That's why I kind of stay now.
Yeah,
But I'm from Singapore really. So luckily, the Singapore government are allowing the Singapore citizen to come back. They don't want us to be stranded. So actually, I was very lucky to get back. I'm in quarantine now, but still, it's worth it, though.
of
So
course. And it's tough, obviously, Paul, for any dart player because I watch, like, I'm friends with you on Facebook for a long time, and I seen you were at the airport and you didn't know if you can get home or not. That must have been quite tense.
yeah, it is kind of. In fact, it's never a good feeling not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Actually, in fact, the worst part about it is that when I knew, you see, that's before I knew, because if Singapore would have done the same thing as Hong Kong,
yeah,
shut all planes coming from UK, then I don't know what's going to happen. How long I'm going to be in UK. And I feel sorry for the Chinese guy. There's two Chinese player there.
yeah.
They don't know what to do. I'm and the China PDC organizer called me up and asked me to help them. And I said, I really kind of, if I am staying there, then I would actually try and get a Airbnb or something like that and bring them around because they can't speak English.
Yeah.
So I was going to help them, but then since I was able to get a flight out, so I told him to call PDC up and see whether they could do anything for them. Because if they're going to be stuck there for like 3 weeks to a month, that's crazy. I mean, they don't have that much money, to
No.
spend on
It's
hotels and all
it's
that.
crazy, and obviously we've seen like the likes of Michael Van Goren. He's obviously stayed in England. He didn't go back home.
Yeah.
It's crazy times. It's crazy for any dart player, and obviously when you're playing darts, Paul. Obviously the fact you were in the World Championships, that was probably in the back of your mind. If you win another game, you might not be able to get home at all. Like,
That is right. That's right. Yeah. That is kind of what I was worried. I did kind of but still though. I mean, no, Dimitri played really well against me that day. Never gave me a chance anyway. Well, anyway, whatever happens, happens. So it's okay. All
definitely.
right.
Definitely. Now, Paul, speaking of the 2021 World Championships, it was great to see you back where you belong. Obviously, you had a great first game. So what was it like to be back in England? Obviously, you were lucky to get there. We were lucky that the World Championships obviously stayed on. But what was it like to get back to the UK and obviously get back on that stage?
Yes. In fact, I would say that with what happened this year, I didn't really have a chance because one of my Hong Kong counterpart, FB Leong, Kevin,
Yeah.
he actually got a cue card and then he moved to England and then he played. He's there. I mean, he hasn't gone back to Hong Kong at all now. So I think he's going to move the family over. So for the whole year, there was no tournament at all, and this is very strange for me because I play probably 3 tournaments every month. Over in Asia, whether it's soft tip or still tip. But then when I was going to the World Cup in Austria,
Yeah.
and I had to cancel out that one because my partner from Singapore couldn't make it. So I was all prepared to go from Hong Kong anyway, but then that got canceled out. So which means, like I said, and at that time, I didn't even know that the World Championship is going to be on or when it's going to be off because you really don't know what happened. But then eventually, when we got the news that we have to do a qualifier if you want to go, and it was so happened that they do a qualifier in Hong Kong because I can't even go to China. I can't even go to Japan. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I can't go to Philippines. I mean, that's even worse. So we were very lucky to actually get the qualifier going, and we have a chance to, whoever make it to play the World Championship. It's a big deal for us. So I'm glad it happens no matter what happened, though. I know it's very hard. In fact, it's very, what you say, it's almost stressful.
I can only
Once
imagine.
it's very stressful because it's always like a question mark. What's going to happen? Whether the plane could be canceled. We could book the ticket and it could be canceled.
Yeah.
you know, and things like that. Just like what happened to my friend in Hong Kong, you know. I mean, in Singapore when he go to Austria. So, but I'm glad I went anyway. You know, I always think that is one of the biggest tournament in for darts. Darting career, like, you know, and this is something I want to go and play till the day I retire, you know. So, you know.
Well,
So
you've easily got another 30 years anyway left in you. There's no doubt about that on that world stage. There's no doubt. We have to speak about your first World Championships, 1982.
wow.
Long time ago. What was it like? Obviously, you know, I know you played darts in America and obviously, you know, Asia, but what was it like back in the early 80s for you? What was it like? And obviously there were so many great dart players, Paul, like Dave Wickham, John Lowe, Eric Bristow.
That's right, yeah.
You mixed with the best, but what was it like to come over to the UK and play like that?
I think, okay, it's a bit different then, because what happened when I blend into the BDO, whatever they were doing in the early days, when what the BDO does, where we have the Butlin Grandmasters, we have the MFI World Match Play, we have the British Open or whatever it is, all those tournaments that was going on, we were always there to play it. You know what I'm saying? But with the PDC situation, it's a bit different, because for us, for me especially, because I don't try to get the cue card and go and chase the circuit, because I can't, because that is the reason why I laid off for so long before I went again. I was laid off for probably over 10 years not playing because I was working for electronic dart company. So I didn't get any involvement with the steel tip at all, with the PDC. So then eventually when things ease up, once I base myself with the electronic dart company, right, in Hong Kong, and things becomes easier, where they actually, I'm sure you heard about DartsLive being a part of the a collaboration with the PDC anyway, right? Because we put out, we were trying to kind of like cross it a little bit to let the people know, hey, you can play soft tip, you can play steel tip, even though it's kind of a two different thing. But obviously the PDC, the DartsLive, our company sponsor, quite a big chunk of money there anyway to be part of them. So, but that is the difference when I was the early days in 1982 when I played the World Championship. It was like it blended in, what I mean, saying. So the World Championship, of course, Lakeside. Before Lakeside, it was let me see, where was it? It was Jolly's.
Jolly's, yeah. It
was Jolly's, right? Then from Jolly's, I think we went to somewhere else. We went to like Tavern, what Circus Tavern.
Yeah.
It was in like a pub sort of atmosphere, and the World Championship was held there too. It was Jolly, it was the Circus Tavern. Then eventually went to Lakeside anyway. You know what I'm saying? So those were the era, but obviously the World Championship then was the World Championship, because there's nothing bigger than that. That was the big thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even the perfect game for nine darter pays a lot more than what it is then versus now. The value of that when I got it was £52,000. I mean, that time 30 years ago, it was worth a lot of money now. For £52,000.
Did you buy some property?
Oh no, I started a business with it. I started put aside for my business and the family and all that. Love it. So I make good use of the money. But obviously that time the when I got it, the UK tax took a big chunk of it too. Wow. They did. I think they took about 33% of it. It's quite big.
Crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yep.
It's a lot. Like you've had a glorious career, Paul. Like we've been blessed to see you on our screens for so many years. Obviously, hitting that famous 9-darter in the 1990 World Championships against Jack McKenna, an Irishman. Right. Have you ever met Jack afterwards? Did you ever bump into Jack after that 9-darter?
You know something? I thought I met him one time, but it was quite a while back. If I'm not wrong, it was in a World Cup,
Yeah.
the WDF World Cup. I remember maybe there was once I seen him, but I do remember I saw I think his grandson or his son. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
his grandson's he was a good U player, yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because I met him. He came up to say hello to me, and he said, "Oh, I'm Jack McKenna's grandson," or something like that. And I said, "Oh, okay," you know. But that was great man. You know, Jack McKenna is he's one of those guy that is a straight guy. You know, enjoy
Yeah.
his darts, and and I'm glad that whatever happened when I did the night dart, I did it with him anyway. Maybe he was my good luck charm. You know.
Maybe. And he's you made him extra famous. Jack McKenna's a famous man anyway, but in Ireland he's extra famous because you hit the 9-darter against him, so that's probably a good thing as well.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's probably a good thing. Paul, like we have to speak of all your achievements. Like obviously we watched the soft tip game, okay, and the electronic darts. How big is
Yes,
that in Asia at the moment? Obviously it's a huge game out there.
it is big. I think soft tip in Asia, in term of growth, in term of awareness with the people now, I mean, a lot of people play soft tip. Every pub, every bar here is all soft tip. Okay, I give you a good example in Hong Kong, right? We probably have about, let's say, 1,000 dart bar, for example, right? There'll be only probably 20 steel tip bar, and the rest are all soft tip.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what happened, and it's all over here. Obviously, it's a bit different in Philippines. Philippines is a very strong, hardcore steel tip country.
Yeah.
Soft tip is basically, I think. Okay, let's put it. There are soft tip there, but I think because it's such the country is a bit, the people can't really spend that much money putting money in a machine to play. They can't afford it. A lot of them really can't.
Yeah.
So the steel tip still remains, whereas the soft tip is always held, is placed in the pub where the people that can actually have better jobs and like they can afford to go to that sort of expenditure, in terms of I mean it's just like a lot of bars over here. Some bars, a pint of beer might cost you £2.
Yeah.
Then another one cost you £5 because of the area and because of the So I think that plays a big part. But soft tip definitely in Asia is huge. It's huge. Yeah.
Can it get to the platform? Because obviously I've watched games and I've seen Phil Taylor come over to Asia, and I've seen a lot of videos of you and tournaments and stuff. Do you think soft tip can get to the elite of perhaps the PDC World Championships, where we'll see 3,000-4,000 people in an arena watching a game?
I think it's very difficult though. First and foremost, right, sadly, is that there are so many electronic dart company out there. Okay, there has not really been one organization that actually controls the different manufacturer. You see what I hate to say that the different manufacturer doesn't really work together because they're all competitors. It's almost like Apple and Samsung. They're never going to work and do a tournament together and sponsor one tournament. They're never going to do that. Yeah. So with the electronic dart company, it's like they want to do, every individual electronic dart company wants to outdo each other in terms of promotion. So whatever they promote and want to do, they only want to do it on their dartboard.
Yeah.
You see, that's what happened, you see. Because it's a business. It's a bit different than putting a steel tip dartboard. It's not really kind of any difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because someone buys a dartboard and put it in a pub, they can do whatever they want with it. You know what I'm saying? Well, also electronic dartboard, when you go with a certain operator that goes, they promote the league, because it kind of selfish, but I don't blame them for being selfish, because the operator that buys in the dartboard, they put the dartboard out as a business, and they have to promote the league. Because it comes with everything. They don't just put a dartboard in a pub and say, "Oh, you just play." really just come and collect the money. No, they don't, because an operator really actually have to work very hard for it.
Yeah.
So that's the manufacturing company. They have to organize the league finals. They have to organize their own championship for their league players to play in. Then the system of their league format and their rating, because we do rating. That's what big in soft tip is, because of a rating. It's almost like golf anyway. You know, you've got a handicap of something, whatever you are. So they classify into different levels, and from the league you are able to play in this tournament. And if you don't play in the league, you cannot be involved in the tournament at all, unless it's an open. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's very difficult to see that happen. So far, I think the biggest prize purse for soft tip darts is the super darts and the DartsLive grand, the world series and the grand final.
Yeah.
Because I won both of them. I won the super darts and I won the grand final. And I mean, it pays. I mean, well, it sounds a lot when it's in Hong Kong money, but it's over $1 million Hong Kong dollars, which is about 150,000.
Not bad.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Yeah. So basically, DartsLive does that, and that is the reason why they do not want to, for their hard work and their, you know, whatever they do to promote, they don't want to be letting out the players that doesn't play on their dartboard, you know, that plays on another dartboard to come and actually be part of it, because you have to go through a league system. But of course, the world is a different deal. The world is an open tournament, so anybody can play. Like Boris Karmak, I mean, he plays. I mean, Adrian Lewis played. Adrian Gray plays.
Yeah.
Phil Taylor plays. You know, even Scott Waits came and played. I mean, quite a few of them went to France to play in the thing. So
it's a game I love. Hopefully it takes off in the UK and Ireland a bit more in the near future. Paul, did you ever consider going to Q school? Because obviously it's did you ever first of all think of moving to the UK and basing yourself in the UK years ago, or were you always happy just staying in Asia and doing your thing out there?
Okay, now you are probably the 1,856 guy that asked me that question.
I was thinking so.
Okay, no, actually there's reason, because I can't commit to go, because I feel that if I go to try and get a Q card, and if I get a Q card, there has got to be a reason why I'm going for the Q card. It's because I want to chase the circuit, and I want to be a part of the PDC circuit in Europe, you know, UK and Europe, you know. But the whole problem is that a guy with a job like me, I work for DartsLive.
Yeah.
I'm a consultant for them for all my years I've been with Electronic Dart Company. It's a pretty good job. Yeah. And you know, support a family and things like that, you know, for 30 years or 20 over years now. So I can't really say, oh, get a Q card and then not even go and chase the play. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So until the day that I am not committed with a company that I have to work, I might consider. But I think my time is already running short now. It's kind of difficult because I'm still under contract with DartsLive anyway. Yeah. You know, until 2000, because we sign every 2 years, and it's until 2023. But when it comes to 2023, I'll be 60 or 60. I'll be 68, 69 now. You know, so you know, maybe, you know, see what happens then. But if I don't have a job right now, I would definitely go and push and chase and put myself into a position where, because I believe in that, you know. Yeah. But you look at the caliber now, I think you really got to be part of that circuit to really know how you stand and how you're going to flourish from there. Because for us in Asia, we don't play this tournament. Once a year we go to the stage, or once a year we go to the World Cup, the PDC. We only played twice. But now we have the PDC Asia Tour, but it's still not the same though, you know what I mean, to play against the Europeans and the British, you know, Irish and Scottish, you know, and I know that it's looking at the standard of play, they have an edge because they are so used to the system. Yeah. They're so used to the tournament. Day in, day out, every month they play two times, 3 times the Players Championship and all that, and you play the same player, the group of people, eventually you get, I think you will improve definitely, and then that's the reason why I take my head off to FB Leong, from Hong Kong, when he went over there, got the Q cut, and he actually went. But Royden is a shame, because Royden, when he got his Q cut 2 times now, he never actually make an effort to go, and that was a shame. And I told him straight up, if you want to be a dart player and become, a steel tip, and you get a Q cut, you have to make an effort to go there. At least you go for 3 months and give it a shot and see how you go,
Yeah.
So, but I don't have the opportunity right now, because I just can't. First of all, my contract doesn't allow me to do that. I'm going to do something else. My job is with the soft tip that company anyway.
Oh, we respect that. Now, Paul, after your game against Luke Humphreys, there was a lot of calls. Obviously, your legendary status with darts is always going to be there. But a lot of people were saying that the PDC should have you in the Hall of Fame in the next 2 years, 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. No, I don't know about. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. So it's obviously a lot of fans. Like, I'd be in my early 30s, but obviously I've seen you on the circuit for 30 odd years. Like, it's something that perhaps is deserved, because you've been such an ambassador for Asia. Obviously we've seen you in so many world championships. Would it be something you'd like if it did happen?
It will be an honor. Of course, I think it will be an honor. I mean, it's almost like, if darts ever go to the Olympics, I want to be the one that carries the flag of the country and actually say I'm part of a team playing in the Olympic, the dart, a dart event, So I think same as, the Hall of Fame, I think PDC, that is very recognizable. I think it's very honor to be elected to be that anyway. So.
Fingers crossed. I think you deserve it, and hopefully it does happen. Maybe Barry Hum will give you a call in a couple of weeks or next year and say, look, Paul, it's time to induct you, my friend.
I hope so. I hope he does. Anyway, but I mean, like I said, again, this is really, they have to decide the reason if they want to induct me into the Hall of Fame. They have to find a reason. So I hope the reason was definitely going to be a good one, So
of course. Yeah. And last of all, Paul, we have to ask you, a lot of fans looking for predictions. Who do you think is going to win the 2021 World Championship? Have you kept an eye on it? Do you still know who's there?
Okay, of course, Vancouver is always the favorite. But something, the previous match, he almost lost that, he almost lost, he had chances to lose anyway. Yeah. But last night I was watching darts the whole night, and I really, really think the guy from Netherlands, what is that?
The Dutch guy. Yeah.
The Dutch guy, yeah.
He's crazy.
I tell you what, I tell you what, if he could finish percentage a bit higher, because his scoring power is really, really good. I mean, he scores well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's one, I think, that have a very good chance. But before this happened, before Dimitri went out, I really thought Dimitri was going to go further than that. But I was very surprised that he lost to Chisnell. But Chisnell shot well too. He shot over 100 average, But Dimitri was he was steady. I mean, I never thought he would have lost to Chisnell anyway,
I think a lot of people were saying that. Obviously, Chizzy seems to turn it on when he's playing the bigger averages. It's weird. He just switches on. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. I think Chizzy, well, I got to give it, Chizzy has been around for a long time, but Chizzy has got such a funny throw,
Yeah.
His mechanic is not something which I would say as a dart player, say, wow, he's flawless in his technique, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, he's just got a snatchy throw sometime, but he hits it. So
he does it. Paul, it's an absolute pleasure speaking to you. No doubt we're going to see a lot of you in 2021, and we'll always stay in touch, because we're huge fans here at SportsMatters and in Ireland. I've met perhaps every single dart player on the planet, and I've been lucky enough to play perhaps 90% of the darting circuit in my life. But I hope to one day meet you. If I have to go to Asia when everything's safe, then I will do so. But I will meet you at some stage. Stay safe, my man. And I'm liking the hotel room. I hope the quarantine's going okay.
I hope so too. Hey, thanks for the it's great to be on your talk show,
Yeah.
and I just want to say something is that to all the dart fans out there, hang in there, but the most important is to stay safe, uh, you got to be careful until everything becomes better. I believe 2021 is going to be a better year because nothing can be worse than 2020.
Yeah.
It's so many lives are gone and so many home families, is going through hardship. So I wish everybody a happy new year and stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jerry.
Paul. See you soon, Paul.
Thank you,
Look
buddy.
after yourself.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.